Well, it's early March, and my attentions have shifted somewhat from white-tailed deer to wild turkey, and that's what found me in the woods today. I was scouting for some birds, but early spring can be a good time to scout for deer as well. The rubs and scrapes from last year show up well before the woods green up, and the ground's usually moist, and the deer leave good track behind. They also leave something else behind. Their antlers. I was in the general area where the laurel thicket buck lives, and I swung through where I suspected he may be bedding. And I found this. It's a really nice shed antler. It's got 5 inches of mass, and it carries that through the main beam. And the main beam itself is 21 inches long. There's 2 8-inch tines and 2 4-inch tines. That makes this shed measure roughly 63 some inches. If we give him a 15-inch spread and the other side matches roughly the same, that would put this deer in the 140 class and make this area a place where I definitely want to spend some time glassing fields later this summer.
The spring turkey season always seems to slip by much too quickly, but as spring progressed, we got in on some really good fishing. As summer arrived, I found myself sharpening my skills to be sure I'd be on the mark should I get a shot this fall. I endured the late summer heat and began scouting deer. I spent a good bit of time glassing fields. This is an excellent scouting technique, but I was unable to lay eyes on anything but doe and smaller bucks. This left me climbing into my stand on my first opportunity to hunt with nothing more than a very nice shed antler to go on.
Morning. My 2011 archery season is off to a very lackluster start here. Season's been open for about 10 days, and this is the first opportunity I've had to get out and do a morning hunt. Coming into the season the way I did without a lock or any sightings on a good buck, I decided to take a run at the laurel thicket buck. So I got in here last weekend, did some scouting, and I found a ton of hunter sign down around the feeding fields and the bean fields down there. Just a lot of boot tracks. Looks like the area's gotten a lot of pressure the first week. So I felt that may have turned the animals pretty nocturnal, and I backed way off the feeding field, back towards where I think they bed, and I found a real good rub line coming up into this area here. So I staked it out this morning. Haven't even seen a doe come through. At this point, I think I'm going to back off and leave this particular area for the rut. Do a little in-season scouting to see if I can't pull something out here early on in the season without having to wait that long.
Now, if you're hunting from an elevated platform or tree stand of any kind, get yourself a full-body ball restraint harness, a safety rope. Tie yourself off before you step onto the stand and wear it until the moment your feet touch back onto the ground. There is no acceptable excuse not to do that. After all, it is an awful long way down to the forest floor, and we want your quest to continue, even if your quest turns into what mine did this early season, an extended wildlife watching session.
I did eventually manage to locate a few deer, though they lacked the headgear I was looking for. I'll continue the quest during this year's rut. To view previous episodes of this web series and to see new videos as soon as they air, be sure to visit us on the web at camochairproductions.com.